don't even like to mention this, but winter's coming, and when winter comes, there's a lot higher risk of us slipping or falling. My name's Vera. I'm a health and wellness instructor from Stonebridge Community Services, and today I'm here at the Port Stanley Fitness Center talking all about balance and giving you some great exercises. So there's a few different components to balance. One of them is our feet. There's a lot of sensory receptors in our feet that tell our brain where we are, and they're often muffled by shoes and socks. So if you can practice in your bare feet, you might get a little more feedback on what's going on. The other thing is our vision, and over 65 we start to have a decline in vision, so I'm here with some eye exercises. And also there's some rings in our inner ears, or loops in our inner ears that have crystals that give us feedback on where our body's at. So today we're going to incorporate all of those different components for a really great balance workout. So balance, think of a tripod. If you set up a tripod nice and wide, it has a good base of support, and if it's narrower, it's harder. So I'm going to let you decide where you're at today. If you're just starting out with balance, your balance isn't so good, then go a little bit wider with the feet. If you feel pretty good about your balance, have your feet together. There's also a few things I'd recommend. If you're in a position where you could go in a corner with your back to the corner, you'd have a lot of protection, or a countertop, or a corner with a chair in front, or even two chairs at your side. We just want to have as much protection around us because we certainly don't want to fall practicing balance. And so what I want you to just notice is your feet. So nice wide toes. Again, you can be wider with the feet if you like, because we're going to be doing some vision exercises to start with. And again, if you're not stable standing, the vision exercises can be performed sitting down, especially if you're dealing with some sort of vertigo. We still want to introduce your brain to movement, but we only want to go to that point that we might provoke symptoms or feel a little bit yucky, but it should go away in 5 seconds. So if you're feeling not good about it, make sure you stop. And so from here, we're going to bring our thumbs out. It's going to be easier if your thumbs are closer together. It's going to be a little harder the further you go apart. We want to keep our head perfectly still, and you can be seated or standing. Feet can be wide or narrow. And let's just take a second to notice our toes, all 5 toes down. See if your feet are nice and flat. Notice whether you have more weight on one foot than the other, and engage the core, because that's going to help keep you steady. And relax those poor tight neck muscles. And then from here, without the head moving, or with as little head movement as possible, we're just going to look at one thumb and then the other. So just that back and forth movement. Again, you can make it wider if that's too easy. Perfect. And back to the center. Now, same movement. I'm going to challenge you a little bit more, but only stay within your safety zone. Feet closer together is harder than feet apart. One up on one toe, or lifting the foot's harder yet. So you decide which one feels right for you. And from here, that same movement, we're just going to look back and forth without the head moving. So we're strengthening the eye muscles, which is really cool. Oh, we're seeing weaker and weaker eyes with people looking at screens. So remember, there's muscles around your eyes too. Perfect. How's that feel? And then from here, give it a little shake. If you tried one foot, let's try the other. And same thing. Go as wide as you're comfortable, just looking back and forth. Notice whether one side's different than the other. Usually is. Try to relax the neck. Make sure you breathe. Notice what your feet are doing. Perfect. Come on down, give your arms a little shake. And now each exercise is a little bit harder, so you decide which one's right for you. And when you feel like it's really hard, make sure you just stay with whatever level's right for you. Okay, so now we're going back, switching to that first foot, all 5 toes down. Try to notice whether more weight's on the heels or toes, and even yourself out. Make sure that core is engaged. And now we're going to look over to one thumb and then turn the nose towards that thumb. Look over towards the other thumb. Turn the nose towards that thumb. Now we're getting that inner ear involved, so it's going to be a little trickier. Look over at the other thumb and try to turn. One more time. Look over at the thumb. Try to turn. Give your arms a little shake. One more side to go, so let's switch over. Thumbs up. And then from here, we'll just look over to one thumb. Let the nose follow. Over to the other thumb. Let the nose follow. One more on each side, looking over and following. And very last one. Perfect. Come on down, give it a little shake. Nice job. And now from here, we're going to switch over to that first side one more time. You might notice that your ankles are getting tired. As you do more balance, the ankles will get stronger, and the goal is to be able to work up to at least a minute on one ankle. But we're going to take lots of breaks, so just do what you can. Awesome. And now from here, if you need to hold on to the chair, let's put the hand on the chair. The other hand's going to come up. And from here, we're going to open the arm up, just finding a focus spot on the wall. Perfect. And now look at your thumb, and then look at something across the room. And then look back at your thumb. And then look across the room. And then back at your thumb. And then we're going to open that arm up, and only if it's okay, follow that thumb with just your eyes. It's right in my chair. And back. Good job. And if that's okay, imagine there's a string from your nose to your thumb. And open. And just to note, that foot that's lifting away from the floor should be really close, so that if you do start to lose your balance, you can put it down. Safety is the most important component. And down. Little shake. Loosen everything up. And now the other side. I'm going to come up. I'm going to lift the arm up. The other hand, if you need to, have it on a chair or a countertop. And then when you're ready, we're just going to look at your thumb. Look across the room. Look back at your thumb. Look across the room. Look back at the thumb. Start to open the arm up, but keep a focal spot, maybe on the wall in front or a spot on the floor. And then on the next one, we're going to follow with just the eyes. And back. And only if that's okay, imagine that string from your nose to your thumb and see if you can follow. And back. Good job. Come on down, give it a little shake. Nice work. And now again, always this one we're going to take the advantage of that visual feedback away. So make sure you have a chair or a countertop nearby, or you're tucked right into a corner that's safe. Again, this is going to be, if you do have problems with balance, make sure your feet are wide, and you might want to start by just covering one eye and then the other. Perfect. And now, only if that's okay, then we reduce the base of support so the feet come closer together. Cover one eye and then the other. Perfect. Only if you feel perfectly safe with that. Now we might try closing the eyes. The hand would be hovering above the chair so that if you do lose your balance, you have something to tap onto. And open. Now just a note, at first we might really rely on that countertop and really need to hold on to it. But as your balance gets better, you might notice you can lift up a finger or two or hold with one or two fingers. And then only when that's okay, we might be able to start hovering one hand and then the other. And then if that's okay, then we might be able to hover both. So again, really slow with the progressions. There's no hurry. But if you practice balance, it does get better, and that reduces the probability of us falling down, breaking a hip, or being hospitalized. So Really important that we do practice as much as we can. And now let's bring that one foot just ahead. So now we're on a balance beam. This could be a wide of a balance beam as you like it to be. So I don't care if your feet are nice and wide or if you're on more of a tightrope, more of a heel to toe. Roll your shoulders back. And now notice whether you have more weight on that back foot or the front foot, and just try to even it out. And then from here, notice whether all 5 toes are down. And then when you're ready, core is engaged, we're going to bring our arms out to the side. And then when you're ready with that, go back a bit. When you're ready with that, we're just going to go for a little airplane ride. So adding a little dynamic movement to our balance. Because in real life, when we're walking, there's a lot of different components to walking. Somebody might call our name, we have to turn our head quickly, we might be talking on a phone, there might be something interesting over there, so we want to be able to incorporate real life situations into our balance training. Perfect, and down. And then from here we're just going to shift our weight, so it's going to go most of the weight into the back foot and then more weight into the front foot. And that could look different for different people. There might not be a physical change in your feet at all. Or as you feel more confident, you might be able to lift your heel and then your toes. So there might be more of a rocking back and forth. And only if you feel super good doing this, then you can add that rocking horse, so you're lifting one foot. So it's that weight transfer. When we walk, we need to be able to lift our foot or put weight on one foot and shift to the other. So it's that shifting back and forth. And then only if you feel super comfortable with that shifting back and forth, then we start to imagine, what if somebody over here was talking to us? We might want to look that way. So again, we're just starting with our eyes, looking back and forth. And then only if that's okay, then we might want to move our nose. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just do what we can. Oh, good job. And now let's just switch feet. So the other foot comes out in front. Nice wide toes, good base of support. Make sure you have those chairs or that countertop or that corner if you need to. Relax your neck and shoulders. Engage your core. All 5 toes are on the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to let the arms come out. And then just a little bit of an airplane ride. Perfect, and then the arms can come down, relax. And then now that weight shift from that front foot to the back foot. Front foot, and again, nice and slow, wherever you're comfortable with it. Remember, you don't have to lift the foot at all, or you might be able to go heel to toe. Whenever we reduce that base of support, it just makes it a little bit harder. And only if you're okay with those rocking horses. And then only if that's okay, we start to change our vision. This time let's look up and down. So up towards the ceiling and then down towards the floor. Up and down. Some up and down, and only if that's all right, then we let the nose go up and down. And up and down. But if that movement bothers you, then just find that focus spot on the wall in front of you. Perfect, good job. Little shake. And now when you're ready, we're just going to play with some different positions for our legs. So let's imagine that we have to step into the bathtub. So again, you can be holding a chair right here. And so we're putting all that weight onto our left leg and just letting that right leg lift up and over. And then all the way back. So practicing those big steps is really helpful for balance for those situations where we have to make those great big steps. And in a bathroom with a bathtub, you're dealing with some slippery surfaces, so we want to have those nice strong hips. And one more. Perfect, and back. Nice job. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so hold on to that chair if you need to. Great big step up and over the dog, and back. And your dog can be as big or as little as you like. It might be a little tiny chihuahua. And in. And just as big of a step as you're comfortable with. And in. And let's go one more time. Out. And in. Perfect. And now if you're holding on to the chairs, I would have chairs be at both sides, because that way you can take a nice big step over the dog forward. And push it back. And again, big step forward. Put the weight into that leg and then transfer back. And let's go two more. Big step. And back. And one more. Big step. And back. Let's switch legs. So that other leg, just going to try with that big step forward. And back. And a big step forward and back. And two more. Forward and back. And one more. Forward and back. Good job. The next exercise, it's a tough one. I'd want to have for sure a corner or something nearby to stabilize yourself. It's also a really valuable exercise. This is one that I've taken from John Pepper's book. John Pepper is a Parkinson's survivor who's just kind of reversed his symptoms with exercise. So I have a lot of respect for how powerful he claims this exercise is. And it's powerful because we're getting all those systems involved. We're getting the ears, the eyes, and some dynamic movement. So he actually does this while he's walking, but I want to practice it when we're safe. So we're going to start with that walk. And it might be nice low feet if you don't feel very comfortable here. And then from here, we're going to start to make a circle with the nose. And let's pause, and we're going to reverse that circle and just see if you can keep that march going. Perfect, good job. Little shake. And now, again, one of my favorite exercises because it has a balance component, but also a really nice extension for our spine and for our posture. So again, staying nice and tight here. We're going to take that big step back or a little step. See how you feel. You want to be comfortable here. It's going to be easier if that heel's flat down. It's going to be a little harder if you're on the ball of the foot. So you decide which one's for you. On the same side that we have that foot back, we're going to start to lift that arm up. And see if you can imagine pushing your thumb through the back wall and lengthening. And down. And now only if that's okay that we start to watch that thumb come up with just the eyes. And down. And two more, just watching. And try to watch it all the way down so that you can track it. And tracking up. And trying to follow that thumb with your eyes. And now that string to your your nose to your thumb, where we're trying to just let the head come up and down and up and down. And one more time, all the way up and follow it down. Perfect. Okay, from here, bring that leg in. I'm going to let the other leg come back, either heels and balls of the feet. We're going to bring that arm up, up, up. Trying to lengthen and press the thumb through the back while staying connected between your ribs and hips in the front. And down. And now see if you can watch with your eyeballs as your hand comes up. And down. Now let's do that a couple more times, just giving the brain a chance to process that movement. And down. And now this time we're connecting thumb to nose. And down. And one more time, just trying to follow that thumb up. And down. Good job. Little shake. Nice work. Okay, from here, let's go side to side. So feet are going to be a little bit wider. Come out to the side. And we're just going to try to reach something just out of reach to the side and back. And again, little reach to the side. You could keep that foot down, or if you're comfortable, add a little lift. Big reach and down. And again, big reach and down. Let's try the same thing on the other side. And we're just going to reach, 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 reach. Something's just out of reach. The foot can stay down or come up. You decide. Reach, reach, reach. And down. One more time. Reach. And down. Good job. A little shake. We've done a lot today. I'm going to finish with the feet together. Thumbs up. Let's start by watching your thumb as we make an infinity sign. So just up and around. Following that thumb, the sign could be little or it could be a lot bigger depending on how you're doing with that following. Perfect. Give that arm a little shake. Same thing with the other side. We're just going to follow that thumb as we make that figure eight. Again, if you're feeling really confident with your balance, you can go with that one foot, or you can stay with your feet together. One more time. This time we're following with our nose. Letting your head follow the thumb. Perfect. And then same thing with the other one. Up and around. Up and around. Up and around. And again, if that's too much, you can have a seat and just try working on the eye exercises. Perfect little shake. And now let's bring both hands behind our back. We're going to push, push, push the hands to the floor so they just clasp together behind the back. And just going to really loosen those neck muscles, because tight neck muscles can contribute to imbalance. So little double chin, ear to one shoulder. Couple big breaths. And then ear to the other shoulder. Notice whether one side feels tighter than the other. And then back to the center. And then when you're ready, we're just going to, let's bring one foot in front of the other for this one. And then when you're ready, we're just going to see if you can look behind like there's somebody talking to you. And back. And let's look the other way. The further you go, the more challenging it's going to be. And other side. Again, this could be a nice wide stance, like we're walking, or a little narrower, like we're on a balance beam, and looking over the shoulder. And back. Now, if you do have problems with balance, that movement should be super slow, bringing the nose back to the center. Perfect. And then nice wide feet again. And then from here, we're just going to go with a little nod. So again, loosening all those muscles and lengthening through the back of the neck, getting that cerebral spinal fluid going, which really helps with their brain function and balance. So a few deep breaths. 2. And if you do spend a lot of time in front of screens, let's rub the hands together. Put the hands just in front of the eyes. And whenever you need to, take a break. Give your eyes a rest. All that staring at the screen and looking directly in front is really hard on your eyes, and you find that it really kind of tenses your neck up. And again, that straight vision affects balance. So take lots of breaks. Remember to really practice when you can. It only has to be 5 or 10 seconds a day. But most of all, have fun with it. Let's take a big breath in, all the way up. Stretch a little higher, see how long you can reach. And then when you're ready, we're just going to let the hands come down, slide forward, and take a bow. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.